back to the Tribe Northside. This is Principal Bridgman. I am so excited that you guys are here with me today. This is the start to our 2020-2021 school year, and it is going to be an amazing and awesome year. Our theme this year is Time to Shine. It doesn't matter if we're in the middle of a pandemic or not. We are going to shine, and it is up to you. You could be a senior, junior, sophomore, or freshman. You are now part of the tribe. This year we have a few things that we're going to focus on, guys. We're going to focus on students, safety, instruction, structure, support, solutions, and success. At Northside, it's all about the students. You are first in our book, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure you win. Student safety is also important. This year, the biggest thing you can do is make sure you are following all of our guidelines. And at Jackson Madison County Schools, we want you to remember 3 things. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. This year's instruction is going to be unique. You will be using all types of online programs, from Microsoft Teams to Google Classroom. So our structure in our classroom will be different, but we still will be focused on instruction. We are going to support you guys no matter what, and we're going to find solutions and look for the successes. Students, this year is all about a new normal. Everything is different, but we still have some tribe norms that we want you to follow. You're going to hear us talk about using virtual editing, because most of you guys are going to be operating online. You're going to be communicating with your teachers through email, and so it is very important that you know how to do that appropriately. So we're going to be appropriate at all times, and we're going to practice virtual editing. When we're on campus, we're going to make sure that we are being safe, that we're wearing our masks, that we're listening to the staff members, and I promise you, we will be taking care of you. Northside, it's time to shine. It's a great school year. We're happy to have you back, and we're going to get going to
my eyes are blurry, the tide is coming in. I guess I'll find out.
All right, so it is time to shine. Let's get that screen out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the welcome back video. I tell you what, it took a lot of work, most of it by my children. They're not happy about me saying it, but they pretty much put the video together, and I had to put their name on it. So Maya, she was quite upset yesterday that I put her name as the videographer, but she was, so that's the truth. So juniors, we are excited to have you guys here today. As that video said, it is absolutely time to shine. This is a very important year. I said earlier, it is one of the most important years in your high school career. This year, you'll be taking your ACT, many of you for the first time. Many of you will be establishing your GPA. You'll be finalizing some of your main credits. You'll start looking at colleges and universities. Athletes, you'll start really solidifying the opportunities and chances that you may have to go and play at the next level. So we all know that there is a pandemic going on, but school has not stopped. Opportunities have not stopped. Options have not stopped. And so it is up to you to take advantage of those. We want you to definitely take advantage of those options. I know it looks like we had a few people that maybe got kicked off. So guys, we will definitely send you the link to the video if you missed that. We've just started our discussion with the junior class. Juniors, as we think about this year, I want you to be cognizant of the fact that there is a new normal. What we used to think education looked like is going to be totally different now. What we expect from you guys is going to be totally different now. So you have to embrace that. As I said before, for some of us, this is a challenge. We have to learn how to use technology. I have to learn how to make videos. I have to learn how to use Zoom. So it will be a challenge for some of us old folks. But for you younger guys, you guys are well prepared. You've been using technology your entire lives. And so we're just taking that technology and pushing it into education. So you are well suited, you're well prepared. We just want you to embrace this challenge and use it to benefit you. Teachers, if you have questions as we move through this conversation, we want you guys to use the chat. If you have students in your classroom that have specific questions, make sure you put that in the chat. One last thing before we move to our counselors, I want the students to realize that being that we are going to be doing a lot of work virtually, I mentioned virtual etiquette. That just simply means that you guys have to remember that education and instruction in a virtual sphere is quite different and it requires different tools. Everybody understands when we're in a classroom, we can't all speak at the same time. We have to raise our hand and be called on. But sometimes when we're in the virtual platform, we forget that. But if everybody that is on this call right now, we're all talking at the same time, we would not be able to get anything accomplished. So some of the same norms have to be in place. So we want to make sure that we are respectful of everyone's time. When a teacher says we're going to log on at 9 o'clock, well, don't log on at 9:40 because you're not being respectful of the teacher's time, your other students' time, or yourself. Make sure you are dressed appropriate. Because right now, if I was sitting here and I was not dressed appropriately, it wouldn't matter what I'm saying. It'd be hard for you to pay attention and listen to the message. So students, if you are going to be going on live with your teachers, make sure you are appropriately dressed. Make sure you have a good learning space. You want to have a quiet place in your house or home where you're working from. You don't want to have your baby brother running behind you 4 or 5 times while you're trying to work through your instruction. If you're doing that, then you're not paying attention and it's going to be hard for your other classmates to do so. You want to make sure that your space is one that will be uninterrupted and that you can work peacefully. So there's several things your teachers here momentarily will be talking to you about how to function in this distance learning platform. Last thing, today the teachers will be working with you and discussing how to get on the technology. If you guys are going to use the school computers, if you have signed up to retrieve one of those today, the teachers are going to make sure they give you a unique ID that must be used every time you log into that computer. It is kind of the key to unlock the computer while it is away from school. You want to make sure that you use that every time. Once you get into the computer, however, you'll use your normal user login. But to unlock your computer every time, make sure you use that unique ID. If not, your computer is going to stop working in a few days. All right, so as we keep our discussion going, I'll ask Ms. Lanier and Ms. McCauley to jump on. They have just a few announcements from the guidance department.
Okay, hello. Welcome back to school, juniors. We are so excited to get to see all of you guys from afar at least, and are really excited to be working with you this year. Of course, I'm Ms. McCauley. I still work here. If you are a student who was assigned to me last school year and the year before, if your last name begins with A through L, I will still be your school counselor for one more year. And then I am so, for all of the rest of you, I'm so excited to is going to be working with us this year. Unfortunately, Miss Jones decided to stay home this year, but Miss Lanier, we are so thankful, has gotten to come back to our school. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Good morning and welcome back. And I am Miss Sandra Lanier. I will be taking Miss Jones's place, and I will be the M through Z student. So I hope that I can fulfill my role as well as she did. I have worked here before, and so I am familiar with the staff. And not all of them because they were new, but I am pretty familiar with the school and the staff. And I'm really thankful and excited to be back here. And so this is new. I was at the middle school before I came here. So this is a learning role for me. So just be patient. I have been picking up on it, but just ask that you be patient with me. I have really good mentors and with Miss McCauley and Miss Smith. But I ask that you would just be patient with me. And I'm so excited to be here. And we will, I'm looking forward to a great year.
All right. We have a few things to tell you about or remind you. The paper from our office with some information. One thing, it has information on how to sign up for our Remind text group. If you are not already signed up, please sign up for that today. We have found that's a with you guys, and I think that will be especially helpful this year. So if you sign up for either text or emails through that, you will get information that we send out from our office, and then you also will be able to send us back questions. If you respond to the messages that we send out, then the response only goes back to the counselors. So not everyone in the group sees your question. Sign up for that and feel free to send us questions. Like I want to kind of, I guess, emphasize some of what Mr. Bridgman said about planning for the future and how important your junior year is in that. 11th grade is figuring out your plans for after high school. And we are here to help you with that. So we want you to get started right away. I want for all of you over the next year, your project to be to figure out your plan for after high school and what are your top options. Do research, talk to people you know, go and find people you don't know who have careers that you might be interested in and talk to them about that. We have given you a few websites on the information sheet that you got to get you started, and we'll send out more information throughout the year. If you would like to schedule an individual meeting with us, we can do that also. Should be, if you plan to go to college after high school, you should within have narrowed down a plan to where you have 3 or 4 colleges picked out that when you start your senior year, you're ready to apply to those so that you can apply early that you would need to meet. So more information coming throughout the year on that, and please let us know if we can help in any other way.
We want to wrap up with the schedules. Make sure that you look at really closely at your schedules. And if you need a schedule change, it may not be exactly as you requested because of the change in the as you wish, but make sure that you're in your program of study. You can get those classes, and if you have to have a schedule change, there's a link at the bottom of the sheet that we gave you that you can go in and request a schedule change. However, make sure that it's for those reasons that are listed on there instead of just that you don't want to be with that teacher or whatever. So make sure that you pay attention to that link at the very bottom of the page.
All right. Have you guys back.
All right, thank you, ladies and teachers. We know there's a little bit of a lag. It's one of those things we just have to get used to, unfortunately, because we are dealing again in a new normal. And when we have this many people jumping on line and looking to try to connect through technology, it can be tough. So thank you guys. We are appreciate the counselors for working with you guys and for speaking with us today. All right, just a couple of things to recap, because I know we had a little bit of a lag on some of it. If you have concerns about your schedule, anything with your schedule, there's a form, but it has to be one of the reasons that they have asked for you to, or that you can ask for a schedule change. You can't just be a random reason like, hey, I just want to be in class with one of my buddies. We can't make those kind of changes because we have this year over 1,000 students. And if we did that for every student, we would never get school going. So make sure it's a legitimate reason. If you are missing a class that you need to graduate, if it's a class that you want to stretch yourself and you want to try a more difficult class, more rigorous class, we always would appreciate those kind of reasons. Students, many of you are, again, are going to be receiving technology here in just a few minutes. You should have an agreement with you that's signed by your parent. Teachers, there are several of those that are in the office. So have the students sign their paperwork in your class. We'll try to match the parents up with them if we don't get them around to you. Final thing, teachers, we just asked today, make sure you clearly go through the sign-on processes with the students. Make sure they understand how to get into the different learning platforms, whether they are Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, PowerSchool, Edmentum. We want to make sure the students have an understanding of how and when they'll use that. Students, you should have teacher information from all 4 of your classroom teachers, unless one of your classes is like directed studies or college lab. But if you have 4 core classes, you should have information from every teacher. If you do not, please don't leave today until you receive that, because on that document, you will have all the information you need in order to be able to communicate with that teacher, and you'll know how to expect those teachers to deliver their instruction. So we want to make sure that you have all of that information before you leave today. Finally, if you leave here today and you still have questions or concerns, feel free to give us a call. You guys can contact your teachers. There will be opportunities for you to stop back up to school. We are not done with you today. And so we expect you to come back when you have issues. Some of you will be coming in to do testing. So this is just the start to our year. I'm going to check the chat now. So teachers, if you have any questions in your classrooms that we have not answered, please, please, please go ahead and ask those now. The schedule change form is online only. The link is printed at the bottom of you guys' schedule. So if you're looking for the schedule change form, that is online. So any other questions before we log off and let the teachers take over? All right, last call for questions. Well, juniors, as we said earlier, it is time to shine. You got to get started. You got to get it in gear. You have just 1 year to say you were a junior. You won't get a do-over, and nobody is going to say in the future, well, we understand. We want you guys to do your absolute best. We want you to win, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that happens. All right, teachers, we're going to sign off at this time. Juniors, we're so proud of you. We're glad to see you, and we look forward to you having an amazing school year.